Welcome to Module 3. I'm your instructor, Annette Harris. During this module, we'll discuss people analytics and data breaches. During Module 3, you will be tasked with creating a flowchart that identifies the steps required to address a data breach of employee data. Before we get started, I want to advise you that the assignment will be graded based on content and not visual representation. Your focus should be on describing the overall concepts of how HR departments maintain data and that you do not need to create a flawless diagram. How do organizations use people analytics? Organizations use people analytics in a variety of ways. Organizations use turnover and retention data to determine which employees are most likely to resign by job, function, age, tenure, and other organizational factors. They also use it to evaluate recruitment, interviewing, and hiring data. Conducting computerized job screenings during recruitment allows organizations to provide answers to a predetermined set of questions so they can be scored and compared with other candidates for a position. It also helps them with hiring. Who do they need to hire in the future, and how do they need to prepare for succession planning? Organizations also use people analytics to determine compensation, benefits, and total rewards of current and future employees. Comparing the organization's benefits packages with those of its competitors can help it conduct pay audits and stay ahead of the game when employees do potentially decide to leave the organization. And then finally, performance management. Evaluating employees using performance management can be done by employee department or organization wide. Most organizations use an HRIS system that stores employee performance review data. If this data gets in the wrong hands, it could lead to serious consequences for the organization. For example, organizations could use the customer service department, for example, to track how many emails each employee answers and can also determine how many phone calls a particular customer service rep answers. Again, if this information is breached and provided to the wrong individual, it can lead to information getting into the wrong hands and can lead to financial penalties for an organization. Protecting employee and applicant data. People analytics inherently requires collecting and storing employee data, including many types of protected personal information, or PPI. With that identity theft and large scale cyber attacks increasing, employers bear a heavy responsibility to keep employee data secure. According to a report by SHRM, an overwhelming majority of US workers are confident in their employer's ability to protect their personal information. However, if their data is breached, it could result in reputational damage, loss of trust, and low morale amongst employees. You'll see from the survey here that many HR professionals are somewhat prepared to deal with privacy concerns and cybersecurity risks. We need to be a little bit farther to the left and very well prepared when we are tasked with maintaining employee PPI information. When it comes to reporting data breaches, different state laws require security breach notification by employers. California became the first state to mandate a specific form to notify individuals of a security breach. The amendment requires the breach notification to be entitled Notice of Data Breach and must contain what happened, what information was involved, what we are doing, what you can do, other important information, and for more information, who the employee can contact. At least 25 states also require a report to the state attorney general's office when an entity experiences a security breach, in addition to the notice to the individuals. This requirement creates a significant risk for employers because the report potentially exposes the employer to an administrative investigation and penalties. Finally, with trigger information, all breach notification laws define the categories of trigger information to include, at a minimum, first name, last name, in combination with social security number, driver's license, or state identification number, or credit or debit card numbers, or financial account numbers, coupled with any required security code. Again, this is an administrative burden on employers and a financial risk for employees. To avoid these breaches, it's essential that HR staff receive the appropriate training to prevent, mitigate, and eliminate potential data breaches.